Hi, Eve's Angels. How are you? My goodness. So I don't know about you guys, but this whole week has been very, very, very interesting for me. But I am ending it on a high note because I have an amazing lady with me. And I know you guys are going to adore her like I do. And we are just going to hop right in. And I want to know all about her. I want to know all about her journey. I want her to share that with you guys. And yeah, let's begin. So, Higher Signals is brought to you by $20 website. OMG. So, $20 website reached out to me and they are sponsoring my show. I'm so excited. At first, I was a little skeptical because I was like, are you serious? A website, like everything that I want? Come on, guys, look at me. You know, I like luxury. You've seen my brand. I love colors and, all the fun girl stuff. And so they were like, no, we could totally deliver that to you for $20. And I was like, get out of here. No way. So I sent them everything that I wanted and they went to their little wizard studio, came back, and it was an amazing, amazing website. So of course I worked with the company and I was like, yo, what can you do for my audience? And they were like, we're going to give them $5 off. $5 off of $20, and you're getting a website that looks like it costs $10,000. Are you kidding me? My goodness, this is totally the angels. Manifest with me and the angels, $20 websites. Welcome, Joan of Angels.
You said it perfectly. I'm happy to be on here with you, Eve.
Yeah, I'm happy to have you. Oh my goodness, right? Like, what a difference a couple months make. Definitely.
Right?
Yeah. So if you don't mind, I am going to let you kind of start us off and then I will hop in and ask questions from there. So tell us about yourself, your work, and how you came up with the name Joan of Angels.
Okay. I love you. I love you for that. So my original name is Joan. Joan means gift of God, just so everyone knows God is gracious. And I've always taken that to heart, always believed in miracles from the day I was born. And I've spent the last 45 years as a chiropractor, as a doctor of chiropractor, as a coach, as an intuitive, as a psychic, as a medium, as a producer of events, as a host, really helping people remember who they are. And I help women especially navigate through painful transitions, difficult challenges. And what I have really discovered is that many of us need help in being able to discern what's the best path for us. And so that's a lot of the work that I do now is in helping people learn how to make decisions and trust their own intuition, which can save them thousands of dollars from costly mistakes, which I have made, which is why I teach this and I show people how you can live your best life and navigate with grace and ease.
Wow.
With angels, okay, in an angelic way. How you can experience miracles by raising your vibration. And I've been doing this naturally my whole life. And I did have angels accompanying me. I didn't know they were angels. They were just these beings that showed up in my dreams or paintings. Later, I found out that they were angelic frequencies and they would walk with me. I'd be walked inside one of the paintings on the wall and I'd be talking. They were so kind. Yes. You know, that's what I remember. They were very kind to me. So we'll fast forward. And when I was 30, I had a vision in a visioning workshop that I was on a podium in the Coliseum where I'm going to be in March. And there was millions of people there on crutches, on wheelchairs, crawling, really ill. And behind me was a magnificent angel. And I had no idea of my angel connections back then. She was magnificent. We were both standing on the podium and we were waving the people by and they would drop their crutches and get up and leave. And
that's beautiful.
At that moment, they told me, your job, Joan, is to heal and inspire millions of people so they can get up. They can get up and walk and do their life. And I took that to heart, Eve. I was frustrated as a chiropractor. I wanted to adjust more than one person at a time. It was a big mission. Yeah. It was a big mission. And I really have taken it to heart inside. But in 2013, I went through a very rough time. And I I just want to say it in a gentle way. I went through a very rough time and I prayed for help. I prayed for guidance. I wanted the angels to send me a check. Just so you know, I'll be fully transparent. Please send me a check. They didn't send me a check. It was Halloween night and I had people over where I was staying and I took out my oil paints and I decided I was going to paint. And I heard a voice that said, paint 33 angels in 30 days. And I said no. Because it seemed like a lot of work. It's like, this is crazy. Why? Yeah. I heard the voice the second time and I still said no. I said, I'm not a good painter, And then they said it to me a third time. And this I noticed is a pattern. They always give you a chance to say yes. But this time I knew that they wouldn't offer it again. And a part of me just went, this is it. This is it. And so I said yes. And I started painting and I painted 33 canvases. Just so you know. Wow. Oils, they stunk. And I hung them up in the loft of the house, which now became the angel loft. Yeah. And a book falls off the bookshelf. It's a true story. Book falls off the bookshelf. It says, your call for angelic assistance has been heard. I literally cried. I literally fell on my knees and cried because that was such a direct answer. And they showed me several things at that time. Number one, that if you say no, they just pass you by. Okay. Maybe they'll come back another time with a different request. Number two, I also learned that they'll only tell me one thing at a time. They just wanted me to start painting. They did not tell me what I'm going to do with these 33 canvases on the floor, on the wall, nothing. Okay. Just paint. And it wasn't until they were on the wall, the book falls off the bookshelf that I said, well, what happens now? What do I do next? Yeah. And they said, paint us and we will come. So I went out and I bought these huge canvases and I swear to God, Eve, I shut my eyes and painted. I did not know what I was painting. It was immature, premature, but the art has energy in it and people do report. I activate the art for people and they feel that energy. It resonates for them. It becomes an oracle tool. Yes. Is the way to put it. And then, so I painted and painted for a few years and I was told to move out to the desert. And so I did, knowing no one out here. And I moved out to the desert. And the second morning I was here, a friend of mine had come from LA. She said, I want to introduce you to a friend. We're sitting at breakfast. The woman says, what did you say your name was? Just like that. And I start to say, well, I'm Dr. Joan Hangarter. She said, say nothing. And she went into that prophetic state and the restaurant went silent. Now, I'm sure it wasn't silent. It went silent in my head. And from the distance, I heard her say, I know who you are. You're Joan of, and I thought she was going to say Joan of Arc. She said, Joan of Angels. And I heard the Hallelujah chorus and that was it. And I said, yes, but it took me 7 years to step into what that might mean. I mean, because it's not Joan being Joan. It's really Joan living in a combination of a Joan of Arc, Joan of Angels, and a higher avatar type state, which means that I'm constantly being forced to step up my own awareness. And that's how I became known as Joan of Angels. Wow. Wow. I have chills. I'm getting emotional. I am feeling the angelic energy and like, wow, that is like so amazing how they work. And like people will say to me, why do you get so many signs? And I'm like, it's because I acknowledge them and I acknowledge them in a way where I am like a little girl, like finding her favorite, whatever. And I'm like, I think they get a kick out of it. So they're just like, hey, we're just going to keep, we're going to keep giving her more and more and more and more. But there are times when I don't pay attention to the signs. And it's like you say, they pass you by. And it's like, okay, we'll circle back with her when she's more open to work with us because they're not rude. They don't take over your life, but they do assist you along your path. Like you said, 2020 comes rolling around. And I wasn't sure at one point this summer, like, should I fall apart like everyone else is? Or what do I do here? And I had been talking to my angels because I was going to trademark my name. I'd been thinking about it. And they pointed out to me that to be one of the chosen ones, you must choose. And I needed to choose. That if I didn't step up into my higher vibrational role, they'll give this role to someone else. They literally told me that. Scared the living angel wings out of me, okay? Scared all those feathers out.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
When they said that, they said, well, that's okay. If you don't want to step up, there's 1,000 people wanting your job.
Yeah.
And that again, first of all, it's like being angel slapped by your angels, number one, wake up call. And so it was a wake up call for me. And I'm always constantly reminded that I'm more than me, if that makes sense. I bring together the Joan of Archangel, the warrior, the observer that she was, the strategist. She was she strategized those campaigns that she won. And so in a way, I'm a combination of a strategic discernment warrior and an angelic frequency gift of God.
Yes.
You put all those aspects together. So that's how I came to be me.
Yes. And would you say that your life prior kind of feels like a past life? Or because like I tell people all the time, I'm like, I've lived several lifetimes in just this one. Because like if you met me 10 years ago and then you meet me today, you will swear it's like two different people. Is that something you find?
I have had many lifetimes this lifetime. So I was told that I was like a 33-degree walk-in. What in the world is that? It took 33 times of knocking me on the head to integrate myself and bring all those soul pieces of ourselves. And Eve, we're not just dealing with this life. We're dealing with our past life and our relationships from the past life too, and our ancestrals. And so we come in with a lot of controls. And we come in and the deck is stacked against us.
It is.
From the day we're born, they know that you and I are here to be angelic beings here on the planet and raise frequency. So it's not like they go, welcome, Eve. We just can't wait to have you start your work. They go, what can we do to make sure she never wakes up?
Yes.
We're going to send her the hardest tests, the hardest challenges, the worst family, the worst partner, anything we can do to make her life so miserable that she crawls under a rock and never comes out again.
Yes. Yeah. And also, we're going to send people that call her crazy every single time that she even talks about us or talks about anything that has to do with her spiritual gifts or anything like that so that we can shut her up.
Yeah. We're going to put her in a religious tribe, where a cult, where God forbid she mentions the word angel or miracle. It's just exactly, or even shows like this. So they do this and it's done by, I could just say maybe the dark side.
Yeah.
We get the advantage. There's an advantage to us, but we get stronger.
Yes.
Those
Every
of us
single battle.
Those of us who don't succumb and crawl away in defeat. And trust me, everyone, it gets bad. They will throw everything. Because they're telepathic. They can read everything about you. They know your fears. You're afraid of spiders. They're going to send you 1,000,000 spiders.
Yes.
Spider dreams.
Yes.
Everything.
Yeah. Yeah. And they will always my dreams as a little girl, I was always locked away. Or I would have dreams of where I tried to use my spiritual gifts and I was stoned to death or burned, So of course that puts you in the fear mode where you're just like, what am I going to do? But I also find that the light side uses that as our training ground. And every single time that we step out on faith, the light just gets stronger and stronger and stronger to the point where the dark, now I laugh at the dark. When I see their little plans and stuff, I'm like, oh, I guess you want another butt whooping, Okay.
I love that. You want another butt whipping.
Yeah. Yeah. You're ready. Okay. Because your angels don't play about you. They just don't. And so if people are used on, for the dark or whatever, those hurts that happen against us, they are never in vain. They always have a purpose. And the people that are used in that, unfortunately, they get their karma instantly, at least in my circles. And it's not that I'm happy that they're getting bad karma. It's just it's like a slap back, hey, this is a chosen one. What are you doing?
Yeah. That's an interesting thing. Yes. Yeah. Because the light attracts the dark.
Oh, yes. Lots of moss.
And it's known that, angelic frequency women sometimes, not always, attract the most difficult people.
Yes.
Because they're attracted to our light. And so learning how to navigate that is always a challenge. Learning how to extricate yourself from difficult relationships, even learning not to get into them. There's a whole lot of things that we get trained in how to be, but we get trained in really how to thrive and survive and get information of, I don't know. It's a very unique situation, but we get smarter as we go.
Yes, we do. That is so true, because I used to pray for romantic relationships, and they would always say back to me, "Why do you want that?" And it took a long time for me to get it. Not that I can't have it in my life, but it's going to take a very special person, probably that has a similar path or the same path, in order to be with me. Because if you don't understand my calling, my mission, most of the time you're trying to lock me away into a closet,
Right.
Yeah. And I've had agents as partners, where they're like, don't talk about the angels. They're not real. Nobody likes it when you start going into that. They think you're stupid. And for a long time, that worked.
Right.
I was
and
just
that
like,
makes me cry.
what? He loves me, so he's trying to protect me. He doesn't want to look. And then the angels shined a different light on it, and they're like, no, he's insecure. He's like of the dark. He doesn't want your light to show. He wants the spotlight on himself. He wants to uplift the demons,
And he wants you to go party with the demons too.
Yes, yeah. And you being in the mix is just messing up his plans. And every single time that you give glory to God and the angels, you need to pay attention to the darkness that comes out of that man that you claim you love.
And that's why I work with women. I work with women.
That was going to be my next question. Yeah.
Why do I work with women? Well, I love men. It's not that you're excluded, and I always have worked with men. I do sessions and readings, but I work with women particularly on speaking up for themselves and trusting that inner guidance when the whole world around you might say you're crazy. Yes. I mean, look, I got a lot of flack. Oh, my daughter I thought she'd flip out one day. We were in LA in a shop, and we're talking to this couple, and I give them my card, and I had two different cards, Dr. Joan Hangarter and Joan of Angels. Now, but my daughter looks at me. She said, Mom, how could you give him that card? Why didn't you start with Dr. Hangarter? That's so much more respectable. Start with Dr. Hangarter, because I deliberately was trying to just get used to calling myself Joan of Angels, because it even felt funny to me.
Yes.
It doesn't now, but it did then. So I was a little embarrassed. Now I'm like this, and my daughter's like going, shh, Mom, be quiet.
Yeah. That's what daughters are for, right? Because my daughter cancels me every other week for being who I am. But the funny thing is that secretly I see her using, even though she tries to stop me, when I don't stop, she becomes stronger.
Isn't that interesting?
Sense. Yeah.
Isn't that interesting? And my daughter,
who being herself.
I think that's great. My daughter's not been into any of this. Thought I was woo-woo, said, why can't you be normal like anyone else? But then again, for Christmas, she brought me this crystal.
Oh, it's beautiful.
And last year, she's calling me from London going, what does 111 mean?
Yes.
So, when you're meant to start to wake up, if you have this frequency within you, nothing's going to keep you from feeling it. Even it doesn't matter. But as Eve said in the very beginning, it's about quieting yourself to listen.
Yeah.
And quieting yourself to know the direction that you want to take. And I'm doing a workshop on February 24th. I guess I should send you the link.
Yes.
I'll send you a link to it.
I would love to
QR
go.
code. I need it. I'll send you even the flyer.
Yes.
But I'm doing this workshop. It's about when decisions matter. Yeah. How to learn to trust your gut and trust your confidence. You come out.
I need that.
Yeah, how to trust your confidence, believe in yourself, and move forward. Yeah,
I need that.
We need
I do. No, because the thing that the angels are working with me on recently, because I'm at that place of leaving one chapter, entering the new chapter. And even though I wanted those things for so long, oh my God, does the doubt start playing in your mind? Like, why are they going to listen to you? Why would anybody tune into your show? Like all of those things that you thought you got over, like in your previous chapters, when you're at the precipice of getting ready to step out onto the world stage, you have that battle within yourself where it's like, can I do this? Can I not? And they just keep telling me, they're like, don't shrink, don't doubt, keep moving forward. And I'm like, you guys got to send me, you got to send me some people that are like, okay, this is the decision that you need to make, because there are things that are popping off in my life. And it's like, am I going to be selfish if I don't help with that and I just choose this? You know what I mean? And it's like I'm trying to see how it's all going to work together, and it's a whole mess. It's a whole mess.
How do you know if it's your program speaking?
Right.
That awful voice in your head that's like your parent say, who criticizes you, or if it's the voice of the divine speaking to you.
Right. And telling you, don't go this way.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
How do you recognize the truth of it and act on it? And learning that really helped me not lose thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
I've had investments that I got involved in, and I'd start to suddenly wake up in the middle of the night and have bad dreams and stomach issues. And I realized it's because I was worried about that investment.
Yeah.
The moment the message came through it was like the last day when I could get my money back, and I got my money back because, because I had that pit in my stomach. And that was such a strong message that I could not ignore it. But like you, I've discovered that if I do not listen to the guidance that I get from the divine, my life can go south very quickly.
Yeah, completely. And then you'll know.
Wrong dude, the wrong place, the wrong everything.
Yeah. And the funny thing is that you'll know immediately. It's like, oh, I was supposed to make a left back there, but I kept going straight, and then it's like the working of, okay, get me back to where I can make that left.
You're absolutely right. And I've had to learn. So I've had to learn the hard way. I had a palm reader in 2015 or 16, right after I'd moved to the desert, reading my palm. He said, "Oh, did you know you were supposed to be famous already, but you blew it?" And he was right. I had, because I kept, and when I went back, and recently my guide said, you need to go back and look at all the times where you had so many opportunities and you blew it, but they didn't use the word. You didn't listen to it. You chose something different. And they started showing me every single time. And it was almost like every time I'm about to really take the world stage, something would happen. Or I would turn this way, or I would get distracted that way. And they said, yeah, he's right. You did not walk the path. Yeah. But as he said, the time will come around again. And I'm in that period now.
Yes. Yeah. That is so interesting. I am a girl's girl as well. And it's funny because it took me a long time to actually admit that, because that's one of the things that the dark used against me in my younger years, was women being very jealous and catty and petty against me. And I, like other women that were around me would be like, oh, well, you can't trust women. And through all the trauma and everything that I went through, I was like, no, I'm supposed to be there for women, because I didn't have women around me that were good examples. So I think that those women probably don't have women around them that are good examples. And I remember specifically when I was going through my divorce, God said, you're going to be like Beth Moore. I don't know if you know who Beth Moore is, but I was in a Bible study, and she's very famous, but she's very famous based off of her traumas and all of the mistakes that she's made. And I said, no. That was my first reaction. I said, no, I'm not. And he was like, yes, you are going to help millions of women. And my first reaction was, no, I'm not. I don't even like women. And he laughed, and he was like, you love women, and you're going to love women. And now that I'm in the part where I'm like, oh my God, I'm a girl's girl, and I pump women up, like even the ones that I feel have hatred or whatever for me, in whatever capacity, I'm always the first one to go over and be like, oh my God, you look gorgeous today. You know, that's like, I find something about that woman to encourage and uplift. And we as women, we have interesting journeys upon this earth, you know, because I'm just got done watching Blonde, and it's a darker look at Marilyn Monroe. And throughout the story, she keeps telling people, my name is Norma Jean. And there's a part in the movie where she's looking at Marilyn Monroe on the screen. She's in the audience and she's like, I hate you. I'm not you. You are something that was created. And my angels were like, you need to write about this. And I was like, I'm going to, because they're like, this is what a lot of women are going through right now. And her husband, who was supposed to be her protector, looked like he beat her up because she took the role in the 7-Year Itch. And when I was looking at that part where her skirt gets blown up, I'm just looking at a goddess who is innocent, beautiful, fun. Nothing dirty is coming into my mind. But her husband took it like, you're showing everybody your private parts. And I was like, we call those type of panties grandma panties. I didn't see any private parts. And it, like, the angels were just talking to me about writing about that, how women have so many difficult roles to fill, because when you're attractive, and it doesn't mean necessarily physically attractive, but when men want stuff from you, there's a lot of men out here that view women as pieces of meat. And we have the choice of either giving into that and just being a piece of meat, or being like, listen, buddy, I'm a human, I'm a spirit, I'm a soul, and I can elevate you if you treat me correctly. I don't know why they had me say all of that, but
someone out there needs to hear it.
Yeah, somebody needs to hear it. So it's just very interesting how you have a heart for women. And I love how you said that you do work with men, but your first reach out and reach across is women. So for you, how does that work? What are the results that you see coming from women that you're working with?
Well, empowering women to make decisions that support them. Empowering some of my clients to start making more money than they ever had in their life, to take the barriers from them and their success, showing them how they can take their ideas and put them into action. By trusting that crazy idea that they may have to go and make kombucha or something.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. To show them that all the answers are inside of them, and just to help them realize, like you're saying, their magnificence. And yeah, we live on a tough planet that does not support us being our best self, or sends people against us when we're in our radiance, which is crazy. Yes. But when we understand that we are actually living in a kind of distorted planet where truth is kept from us and lies are supposed to be truth, and everything is upside down.
Yeah.
And the society itself is designed, like they poison the food, air, and water.
Yeah.
Everything is toxic out there. And I'm not being negative about it. I'm suggesting that we start discernment, and using discernment to go, okay, where are the good places? Where are the good people? What's the right food? Where's the right conversations? And this one doesn't feel right, so I'm going to leave.
Yes.
This one's just not at my frequency. I'll go somewhere else. Like, how do we start to empower? My role is to empower you to recognize the beauty within us.
Yeah.
Divinity. And honestly, the whole world happens in your head. Yes. It actually doesn't happen outside here. The angels, no one else sees the angels we see, because it all happens in here.
Right. Right.
Except a rare time when you can sort of see them or catch them on camera, but that's rare.
Yeah.
And everything happens right here, the whole universe.
Yeah. I've heard that, where people say, if you can control your mind, you can control the universe. And I don't know why the mind is such a battlefield, but it really is. It really is, until it isn't. Do you have any tips for the audience on how they can start to change their world through their thinking?
Well, this is crazy. As you were talking, I already had this picture of So one of the things I do in my in-person workshops, which I used to do a lot of, is I bring a lot of yellow stickies.
Okay.
And I do an exercise about all those parts of you that run you. And you put a little yellow sticky on everywhere on your body, like low self-esteem. I'm ugly, no confidence. My hair's a mess. I'm a mess. I'm stupid. Whatever you say to yourself, you have 100 yellow sticky. By the time you're done, you have 100 yellow stickies. And then the worst thing about this process is then you have to introduce yourself to everyone else. I'm Joan, and I'm a literal failure. Look at me. And you have to, and it's the most empowering thing. When you begin to realize that all you have to do is take that little yellow sticky off, throw it in the trash. And you can be the opposite. I'm confident. I'm radiant.
Yeah.
And so it's learning how to flip this switch. I work with women because I am a woman, and I've suffered a lot as a woman with relationships that really took me off path. I've lost everything twice. And I mean everything to the point I was on welfare many years ago with my kids.
Yeah.
I was at the food bank, and I know how you reboot. I know what it takes to step into your best aspects of yourself and never give up.
Yes. Yeah. That is so beautiful. That's so beautiful. We have so much in common because I recently just went through losing everything. And now they like to tell me, they're like, you didn't lose everything. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. You're right. They're like, you just lost the life that you were pretending in,
Right.
where I could go to my 9 to 5 and then on the weekend I could be Eve Solara. And they're like, we told you 5 years ago to step into who you were. And we told you that if you didn't step into it, we were going to destroy everything and you would have no choice. And I'm like, yeah, you did. I didn't think you were going to be that dramatic, though.
Well, but that's what it took. And, you're sounding just like our clients out there and our audience, because honestly, that's how we do it. We just keep going anyway. And then we're surprised when everything falls apart. My patients, when I had my chiropractic office, they'd come in and go, my boss is a pain in the neck. He's such a pain in the neck. And then two things would happen. Number one, they had worse pain in their neck, okay? Because they actually gave themselves a pain in the neck. And then their worst fears would happen, that they did get fired because they were constantly talking about it. So I want to tell you a little bit about our thoughts, because our thoughts run us, but more important, there's a substance around it. They used to call it ether. It's actually the fifth element, air, water, ground, earth, whatever ether. Ether, just because you can't see it, doesn't tell you anything. I was reading an article today about a certain kind of mushroom. It is not a psychedelic mushroom. It's a medicinal mushroom. However, this mushroom allows the veil to be removed, and you can actually see beings everywhere. They're very tiny. Apparently they live everywhere. They're on top of your phone. They're on your desk. They're everywhere. They're not malicious or anything. They're beautiful. We can't see them because of the veil. And this particular mushroom removes that veil so you can actually see. But what if you discovered that this other world really exists? These beings and these other worlds. And so the ether is a reservoir of our thoughts. So we are this energy being on that realm, but the things we think about are literally stuck in our auric field. So any being walking by can see it. Oh, she hates herself today.
Yeah.
She's under attack over here. Oh, she's in her ugly fat day. They see it. They read it. It is like you're holding up a sign that says, I'm not feeling good about myself today.
Yeah.
People can read it. And first of all, energetic people will read it unconsciously and treat you just like you're telling them to treat you.
Yeah.
But thoughts are real. And it took me a long time to understand what that meant, because they do say that thoughts are real. Well, they are real. And so thinking loving thoughts, sending loving thoughts to people is actually more important than we realize, and try to clear away. So when you do something like that particular process that I take you through, you get to, like, by the end, release everything. It's like you've gone into a an angelic shower.
Yeah. And I bet you, as the facilitator of those workshops, you see the change immediately in people. Like when they start taking the weight of those thoughts away. That's amazing. I love how you just said that. That's so empowering. I am going to take that with me, like for the rest of my life. And something that I've been doing recently is I've been listening to subliminals because I have to change my mind. It's like, okay, like in order to embody who I say Eve Solara is, I have to change my mind. I have to change what I think about. I have to change what I focus on. I have to change how I dress, how I present myself in order to become my full self, like in order to bring it into the 3D. I guess that's how I'm trying to say that. And I like how you said that example earlier where you're like, it took me a long time to embody Joan of Angels, And yeah, wow. Like you blew my mind. Like very few people do that, but like you said a lot. And I'm like, I have homework to do. I definitely have homework to do. Yeah.
Well, I do have a few more years on you of life. And you really do learn. You learn to take it in a different stride.
Yeah.
But as I said, in 2020, they informed me that if you don't step into this presence of Joan of Archangel, then don't worry about it. Someone else will.
Yeah.
And how much do you want to choose this? And so you and I are choosing a path. It's sort of like being on the straight and narrow, and we listen to this guidance, and then suddenly maybe over there, it looks like they're having more fun than we are.
Yes.
And the older you get, the more you realize that you decide not to go in that direction because actually you're going in this direction.
Yes.
But that takes training and wisdom and awareness. And it just takes a lot of that. But I tell my clients when they come in with all their problems that you cannot take a wheelbarrow full of your crap to heaven. You've got to release the wheelbarrow. Empty it.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. And that's funny that you say that because I tell my angels every day, because I've told you before how I almost died at the beginning of 2025. And so I tell them every day, I'm like, when I die, I'm dying empty. I don't want to take any of the gifts that you gave me. I want to leave them here, on the earth. Like, that's what you gave them to me for, so that I can gift it to this realm. And I don't want to die full. I want to die empty.
Wow, that's kind of interesting because I guess I think of these gifts that we have as coming from other past lives too.
No, yeah, they do. Yes, yeah. But I don't want to take when I say that, what I mean is I don't want to hoard it. I want to replicate it so that when I cross over, somebody else can pick it up and keep it moving. Because it's not just for me, it's for everybody.
Well, I have news for you. I interviewed someone yesterday who discussed how there's new technology that's there that there's going to start to slowly release that allows us to live to 300 years old.
Well, sign me up.
Okay, till 300. And I've been telling people I'm going to live to about 150. I make my kids very happy. Say, your mom's, you're going to have me for another
have me around
100 years, kid.
Yeah. No, that's funny because I'm not one of those people that is in love with death. And I tell people all the time, I'm like, I want to live a long life. Like even as a little girl, I was like, I want to be very old. And something that you said to me that they're like, circle back on that was about the little creatures in the other realm, because I'm very aware of those things. And it doesn't matter what religious background you come from. If you read any sacred text from the ancient world, it tells you that the unseen world or that the seen world is made up of things from the unseen world. And people like us, we see both, and I'm like, I totally know those beings you're talking about.
Right. And those things exist. They completely exist. All those so-called mythological figures actually did exist in this realm at one time. They were,
and they're going to make a comeback. They are.
And you see evidence of the giants. There are people I have hung out with who are 7 foot tall.
Yeah.
And growing taller. And even that's coming back.
Yes. I hope that they're not the evil giants that were eating up the people and harming us. I hope that they're the gentle giants.
Well, there's tales that in the mid 1500s, the giants came together with humanity to actually free humanity from the extraterrestrial threat that was happening then. However, we lost their fathers. We lost the war. And the giants, according to this, were flash frozen, kind of melted. And
do you think they're in Antarctica?
Well, not only are they in Antarctica, but you can see them in many rock formations around the world.
Yes.
And when you look at rock formations from up above and they have a nose and eyes, and you see a little smile and they're laying there horizontal on these big rocks.
Yeah.
And they are waking up. They will come back. It's kind of like some of the children's stories. I don't know if you ever read about Narnia. They went in the closet and, in this land, the little creatures are all turned to stone.
Yes.
But when the wicked, evil people are killed, when the witches, the queen is killed, they come back to life.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God. I totally believe in all
society.
Of that.
That is our realm.
It is. Yeah. I believe in all of that. And I actually love that the author of Narnia was friends with the guy that did The Lord of the Rings. They were in they called it a writing club, but when you can see, like we can see, I was like, that was like a mini secret society of like alchemists that were like, okay, we have the true history and how are we going to preserve it? So they decided to write it in children's books. And yeah. That's
right. And so the children's books, I have always believed fairy tales are real.
Yes.
And
me too.
I'm going to Greece in 2 months on the Greek Mystery Cruise tour.
Yes.
And I'm going really because those ancient Greek gods and all those palaces and all those temples, when I'm in those, I can feel those beings.
Oh yeah. You'll have conversations.
And knowledge. They were real. These are not just, figments of our imagination.
No, they're very real.
And some of them are still alive today in different forms. So I also read that the writer of the book you just mentioned, what was the book? Lord
of the Rings.
That was based on true stories and true maps. That we did have that history.
Yes.
And I totally believe it. And I want you to know, I once saw an elfin at my front door.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like an elf?
An elfin, the ones that have bow and arrow.
Okay. Yeah.
That kind of look like Peter Pan.
Oh, yes.
With the green cap.
Yes.
And a thing in the back with arrows. He was standing at my front door.
What did he want? He just wanted to say hi?
He didn't expect me. And I didn't expect him.
Yes.
And I realized
are the great
that
ones.
he must have let his guard down interdimensionally or remove the veil because I could see him.
Yes.
When he realized I was looking at him, he disappeared.
Yes.
But we had that moment of
realization. Yes. I love those.
He didn't stay for me to ask, like, who are you? What's your name?
Right.
You want to come in for some milk and tea?
You got to be very careful with those because they're a part of the Fae clan.
Oh, that's right. He was. And I knew he was Fae. Okay.
Yes.
I knew he was.
And they can, because what's happening with their realm is they are looking for women, earth women to mate with because their realm doesn't have a lot of, how do I say it? They need children. And so they like to entice earth women into their realm. And then once you're there, you can't come back. Now, I know that sounds great for some people, but yeah, luckily that I don't think that was his mission that day.
No. And that's interesting because in the children's stories, that's what they're always doing.
Yes.
And it's right.
Yeah.
But moving on to a better subject than that.
No, subject.
Take our power back at any time.
Yes. Yeah. I love that subject because I rarely have people that I can talk to about that type of stuff. And I'm like, I've done deep dives into the land of the Fae and where they come from. And their backstory is very similar to that of fallen angels. So I'm like, you guys just gave yourself like a bunch of different names to confuse us. But there are some of our elders that remember and they would pass down that knowledge in stories.
Right, which is why some of the gods in Greece are the same God, but they have a different name in South America.
And in Egypt.
Yes.
And same God, different name.
Have you been to Egypt, Eve?
I've been to Egypt in my dreams and astral travel, but never physically there.
Yes. Yeah. So the power and the presence of these beings. But, you know, these were the ancient ones that came down to the planet, and they put what we call compliance chips in people.
Yeah.
And in women in particular, they put a cork in your throat chakra. The male patriarchy put a cork so we couldn't speak our truth because they wanted to shut us up. Because we speak truth. Everything that you and I are saying is a truth about our inner selves, our intuition, the way the planet works.
Yeah.
And we become truth tellers, healers.
Yeah, we do. My angels just said, ask her what her space family or her space origin is. Do you know?
Yes, I do. Okay. So I'm, let's put it this way. I'm an Arcturian angelic.
That's me too.
Yeah. Master.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Arcturian angelic. So the Arcturians and the angelic realms go hand in hand.
They do.
I am an ascended master this life.
Okay. Nice.
I know that there's a sense of having returned. And a couple of years ago, I took and taught an advanced ascended master training without even knowing what I was doing. You know, I was just channeling the whole class. I'm going to have to go back to find out actually what I taught because it was brilliant, but it wasn't me teaching.
You didn't record it?
I do. I think I have the recordings.
Okay. Yes.
But so I'm really certain that I came in, you know, wielding a sword, an energetic, spiritual sword to cut ties, to cut cords, cut our cords, this life, past life, future lives, all cords, all soul contracts.
Yes.
Actually, let's do that right now.
Yes.
Can I do that? Good.
I do. Yes. And they said, ask her if she speaks light language.
I don't speak light language except with my hands, and I do speak light language with my hands.
Yeah.
But we are asking right now.
Yes.
Close your eyes, everyone, for just one moment. Oh my goodness. They're telling me to imagine that you all have like 101 stickies, yellow stickies all over you. And each sticky says one thing that you're not happy with about yourself. You're not lovable. You're ugly. You're stupid. You're going to be stuck here forever. That you're whatever. I want you to see all those weighing you down right now. Because they become very heavy, these thoughts. And then I want you to stand up in your energy, and I want you to imagine a wave, a rush of celestial energy coming, pouring down, flooding all over you like fluid that just wipes away every single sticky. Everything wipes you clean using your hands. Just make sure you wipe your energetic frequency clean. I am pure. I am love. I am divine.
Yes.
I am a fully activated light being living her best life here on planet Earth.
Yes.
I am in touch with my intuition. I understand. I hear my inner voice easily and step into my destiny with grace and ease.
Yes.
And so it is.
And so it is. I receive that. I receive it. That is so, so powerful.
Ever since I started reading your blog, you know, and you just have messages from the angels all the time, but not just from them. It's like really, you have a lot of wise positioning.
Thank you. Thank you. Sometimes it's scary, and it's always the ones where I'm like, I don't know if that should go up there. And then I just say, you know what, release it. Just hit publish and walk away. And then when I come back, those are the ones that are the most impactful to people.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. Because I thought it would be kind of silly. The last one that I did was like romanticizing your life. But I got so many messages from people where they were like, I needed to hear that.
Yes.
Like, yeah. And I'm just like, okay, great. Yay. Yay. And the angels are so gracious because when people say thank you to me, I immediately give it back to them. And they're like, no, this is our gift to you for being obedient. You get to receive that thanks just like we do. And I'm like, but it's not me. It's you guys, you know?
But you're saying yes, and you're the channel for it.
Yes. True.
We actually agreed to be the channel for healing or love to flow through others.
Yeah.
What we
do you
offer.
have Any other messages for our audience at this time that you would like to share?
Dearest ones, we ask that you remember that you came from the angelic realms. Most of you have. Most of you have walked in the heavenly realms. You carry this frequency, whether you are consciously aware of it or not. What does that mean for your daily life? It means do the best that you can. Give yourself space for grace. We angelics do not expect humanity to be perfect. You are perfect in your imperfections. You are perfect in your naivety and in your innocence. All is forgiven on that realm. But we ask you now to step forward and begin to release all those chains that have held you for centuries and that will continue to hold you should you not choose to step into your gifts, should you not choose to let go of that which keeps you bound. So we say this not to worry you like we worried Joan of Angels at that time because she said, oh my God, they're going to take my gifts from me. We say we're not taking your gifts from you. However, they will not be fully turned on and activated until you have that full yes. And that commitment that Eve shows. And the steps she takes.
Thank you guys. I just heard like they were right here. I don't know if that was a sword that came by my head to like cut something, like just cut a thought out of there, but I felt a shift. I really did.
And so I'm glad. And so I want to tell your audience, if any of this resonates with you,
yes,
I do a complimentary, and I'll send you these links for this too. Complimentary soul vision session. And in that soul vision session, we look to see what path you're on, and we look to see what would support you in your next steps. So I make recommendations and help you see, where you could go.
And is this just for women, or can men reach out as well?
Yes, we'll take men too.
Okay. No, I have to ask because like I have a large following of gentlemen.
Yes, no, I will work with men as well, guys. Yes. It's not all exclusive for women at all. But if I do a group, it will be women, just so you know. But don't feel bad about that because I do men's groups too. I have a master's in counseling, Eve. I've worked with groups and with people for centuries, this life, past life, and future lives. I've been a healer for all those lifetimes. So I offer this. And also, I'm going to send a invitation through Eve for my complimentary masterclass workshop. It's 90 minutes and it's called When Decisions Matter.
Yes. And that was February 24th?
24th.
Okay.
6 p.m. Eastern. No, 6 p.m. Western.
Pacific time. Yes. I'm always on the East Coast too. It's weird, even though I'm on the West.
Well, I was incorporating you for a second.
Yes.
It was like, wait. But I'd love to have you. There's no charge for the workshop. And it's going to actually be a fun workshop. We're going to look at decisions.
Yes. They told me to add this. This is not coming from Joan. This is coming directly from the angels. If you want to donate to Joan, definitely do that. If you feel that placed upon your heart, they're saying she's very humble. She would never ask. She does a lot. She does a lot for free, but it is an energetic exchange. So if you feel comfortable giving, and this is something that me and my friends used to do way back in the day, you can even exchange your gifts. It doesn't always have to be monetary because Joan is very giving, but I'm sure she needs to receive as well. So get in contact with Joan.
I've never had a host say that. So that's incredible. I'm a Joan, everything Joan of Angels. I make it simple.
Yes. Yeah.
You can find me on Instagram, Joan of Angels. You can find me on Facebook, Joan of Angels. And my website is Joan of Angels.
Yep. And she's even on Substack. So you can find her there as well.
And I'm even on Substack, Joan of Angels, because that's how Eve and I met.
Yes, it is. Yeah, it was crazy. I commented on one of her things and it just opened up a whole new world.
Well, we hopped on the phone. We've been talking.
Yep. And I have to make a decision.
No, you're not. You do not have to make that decision. Your angels are going to tell you exactly the best step for you.
They are.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And there shouldn't be a tug of war with it. Just aim and shoot.
Right.
Yeah.
I think when we have those tug of wars, they're really a reminder that somehow we're not quite choosing right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it is a time to step back.
Yeah.
And I invite everyone to come into my Joan of Angels Cafe.
Yes.
We drink chai tea up there. It's up on the mountain looking down at the rest of humanity. And that's how we work.
Is that a real location or?
No. Okay. It's an energetic location.
Okay.
But I take everyone there with me so that we have a beautiful cafe to sit in and we oversee humanity down below.
I love that.
And it gives us a very different perspective.
Yes. I love that. I have a feeling that I am going to invite you back because there are things that I didn't even get into with you. Like I would love to go over your paintings and how you express yourself. I wanted to ask you like what your favorite angel was. Who do you work with most? But I feel like, I don't know, do you have time to spare or do you
I think we should do it in another interview.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, let's space it out.
So, I go with what my guests want to do. I try to be a good host.
Yeah, now let's do another interview next month.
We will.
The month after. Yeah.
Thank you so much for being a guest on my show, Joan. I'm full of gratitude because I know that a lot of people, even though that you know a lot of people, this is special. Like I feel like you took time out of your day to do this for me and I am touched beyond words.
But first of all, you invited me to be on your show. That happens to be special.
Yeah.
Just so you know. Just to be on your show. Your energy is amazing.
Thank you.
We've developed this connection over the last few months.
Yeah.
And it's a new connection and I think it's inspiring for both of us.
Yes.
You talk about angels I've never met.
Yes. Yeah. Well, that's part of my mission is to let people know about the lesser known ones that are just as powerful, but aren't always mentioned.
One day, maybe we'll do an angel workshop together. You never know.
That would be cool.